Alright, so today I'm going to be tying a zebra midge, which you can see here in the vise. It's a really easy pattern, and I like it a lot for fishing winter months and midge hatches, as well as just deeper water because it uses wire and a bead, so it sinks very quickly. And it's a great fly to fish with a dry dropper or a rig like that, and I like it a lot just in general as a nymph. It's a highly productive pattern in most months, and it's really simple. It just uses a hook, a bead, wire, which I use this like steel wire, and then thread. I personally prefer this steel wire. A lot of people use lead wire, but I find steel wire is more versatile for other fly tying options. Like you can see here, I used it to form this extended body on a mayfly without actually going off of the hook and tying on a needle, like an upholstery needle. I just went onto it, I tied it in, and then I wrapped my thread up it. So you can see, that's why I personally prefer steel wire. You can use lead or steel. I just think it's more versatile. I begin the thread base just behind the bead, and you want to be careful not to push the thread up against the bead because for some reason the bead has, or some beads will have a really sharp edge that will slice right through your thread and snap it really easily. So you just want to prevent that from happening because it's really annoying to put your thread back on a fly that you're halfway through. I just want to build a bit of a thread base, and now I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to bring my thread up behind my bead, and I'm just going to begin tying down my wire right here. I push the wire a bit into the bead so that the whole body has the larger profile, not just the back end, because the gaps in it that form when you don't really push your wire up as far as you can look fairly unnatural, and you have to do extra work with your thread to make it look better. Now I can bring my thread just behind the bead again, and I can begin wrapping. I'm going to use my rotary tool for my vise. I prefer this for wrapping stuff because it can be more evenly spaced out. You just have to hold the wire at a constant angle and keep it there, and it'll just do the work for you. And it just looks nicer when it's nice and even. It makes your flies a lot more consistent. Now I'm going to tie down the wire. And I don't cut wire with my good scissors. I use this crappy pair of scissors that I've had for a while. You can also use nail clippers or something like that. Just anything that you don't care if it gets really, really dulled, because wire will bite into your scissor blades and stuff like that. Now I want to tie down the tag end as much as I can, but you can just push it at an angle and it won't really bother your fly. You can see here. Yeah, see, that's what happens when you push against the bead too much. It'll cut your thread like it just did with mine, and that was an accident. But I'm going to use this as a learning chance and show you how to fix this. A lot of people will get mad when their flies break, and it's understandable. I used to do that a lot. Like, I'd get really irritated if I was halfway through a fly and my thread broke. But you can really just fix it again. You just have 2 tag ends to cut now. It's not that hard. And you can see here, I've just got to pull out a little and get that tag end completely down. Put a little bit over my wire tag. And now I can just carefully whip finish, because you don't want your thread to get cut during your whip finish because it will lead to your fly falling apart. So I just pull it at this angle rather than right here to avoid any unnecessary pressure on the thread from the bead. And then I trim it as usual. Now, one thing I do here to make the fly a bit more glossy is I take this water-based head cement. I don't like using UV cure or anything that'll mess with the profile. And I just put just a nice big drop right here. And you can see when you flip your vise over, it evens it out right where you want it. and you can just spread it with the top like this. And I just leave it here for a while. It'll only take like 15-20 minutes to fully dry, and yeah, your fly is now complete. I recommend fishing this, like I said in the beginning of this video, in the winter months, specifically November towards January or February. But small midges work really well for creeks and streams. This is size 14, so this is more what you would fish in a lake. You can fish down to size 12 in larger lakes and ponds and stuff. But I recommend anywhere between like 14 or 16 up to 20 or 22, just in general. So this is about the biggest size I like to tie these on. And yeah, that's about it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. And you can feel free to leave any comments on this video, even if it's criticism, as long as it's not just a hate comment or anything. If you're just criticizing the fly, I'm completely fine with that. So, yeah, thank you for watching.